The traffic some days here at the airport when it's rush hour.
Kilo Juliet November, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Kilo Juliet November. Kilo Juliet November passing 2,700, climbing 8,000.
Kilo Juliet November, approach identified.
Kilo Juliet November. Into the clouds.
Kilo Juliet November, positioning clear of parachuting at Lily Delta and left heading 360.
Left 360, Kilo Juliet November. Alright, 360, so we go to heading mode. Set the heading button to 360.
Approach, good day, Takeoff 221 on descent, 9,000, received information for
So Melbourne approach just vectoring us around some other traffic at the moment. So even though our track is out to the right, they've given us a heading which is about 20 degrees to the left at the moment. So all I do on the autopilot is go from GPS steering to heading mode and put in the heading, and then the aircraft will now just follow this heading until I tell it to. So at some point they'll probably tell us to resume track or resume own navigation to Harrow, maybe to Themis, to one of the points further on, but we'll see what they tell us in a second. Meantime, we're going back in cloud, so checking the outside air temperature. Going to turn the pitot heat on because it's 5 degrees above zero.
3,000 kilo left on 60 goes 100.
Kilo Juliet November, climb to 9,000.
9,000, Kilo Juliet November. Alright, passing 6,500 feet. That's about the tops of the clouds I think that we'll see here in Melbourne. That concurs with what we saw on the forecast, which I was checking.
Kilo Juliet November, turn left heading 350.
Left 350, Kilo Juliet November. Left 350, so he wants me to get around that traffic even more. And I wonder if he'll give me a direct to... Ooh, what will he give me? So we're supposed to be tracking to Harrow, we're heading off in this direction, but I think he'll give me a direct maybe to Lacey. If not Lacey, maybe Themis. So we might come out here for a little while and then head across to Themis to pick up our track again. Not sure. Just out of interest, just over there to the left is Melbourne International Airport. So we're right in the airspace of the international traffic at the moment. Feels like I was only at the airport yesterday. Oh, that's right. Altitude capture, levelling off at 9,000 feet. And I can lean us out as well, which means that I'm just making sure the engine's not using as much fuel as we would do when we're climbing.
Kilo Juliet November, turn right heading 030.
Right, 030, Kilo Juliet November. Right turn. I'll do the lean assist once we're levelled off. I might switch tanks at the same time. Alright, so let's do a tank change. So fuel pump's already on. Cross to the left. Turn the fuel pump off now. Vapour should have gone from the lines. Fuel pump off.
Kilo Juliet November, resume our navigation track direct to Themis.
Navigation direct Themis, Kilo Juliet November.
Kilo Juliet November, contact centre 123.75, good day.
12375, Kilo Juliet November. Melbourne Centre, Kilo Juliet November, maintaining 9,000.
Kilo Juliet November, sent G'day, Eric H, 1016.
1016, Kilo Juliet November.
Stuck with me again, Steph. How's your flight been?
Yeah, going well so far. How are you, mate?
Good.
As regular viewers of the channel will know, one of my favourite in-flight snacks is Tom and Luke's Snackables Energy Balls. I'm not sponsored by Tom and Luke, I just think they make a terrific product. Nice small bags, fit in your pilot bag. Little bit of nutrition whilst you're flying. Obviously if you have nut allergies, I do not recommend these whatsoever. But the peanut butter, chocolate, they're vegan as well, so to all my meat-eating followers who enjoyed my vegan burger experience in the Cathay Pacific Lounge 2 days ago. Of course, if you fly, you'll know this. If you're a pilot, right, and you eat something whilst you're flying on these long trips, the radio's been silent for ages. The moment you put some food in your mouth, that's the moment that air traffic control call you up and need you to do something. Now, we are flying to Bankstown this morning. I didn't do an introduction down on the ground because I was focusing on the flight. I haven't actually flown Kilo Juliet November for about a month now, with all the travels and the Christmas break. But I'm heading up to Sydney to some meetings as usual for one of the companies I work with. And I'm doing it slightly differently. Remember last time I flew to Sydney, I'll put a link up here and if you haven't seen that flight. Last time I flew to Sydney, I went up to Sydney and back. That's Kilo Juliet November turning us. I went up to Sydney and back in a day. But what I'm doing this time is I'm actually going up to Sydney today. Got a couple of meetings this afternoon. More meetings tomorrow.
The 833, contact center 132.2, g'day.
132.2, what's the 833 today?
But then I'm going to fly back on Friday. So I'm going to give myself a full clear day to fly back. Because I think flying to Sydney, doing meetings and then coming back again, it's about a 2 hour 10 flight. All in controlled airspace. It's all in Class C in the airspace here in Australia. So it's pretty heavy workload, all single pilot IFR, although today it's not too bad. But flying up to Sydney and back and doing meetings all in one day, nah, I've nixed that idea, I'm not going to do that again. So up today, meetings today and tomorrow, and then flying home on Friday. Makes more sense, I think. Got some interesting little fluctuations going on the engine page, just on the manifold pressure and the power readings as well. I've got communication up here, so I did just talk to the engineering team as well. They're comfortable with where things are at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on it. From what I've been told, it could just be a bit of dirt on the sensor. But with fluctuations of that amount, you'd hear some changes in the engine, obviously, if there was, if that's actually what was correctly reading what the engine is doing. But my instructor, I think I've said this before, he always said, if you've got a moment in the plane, just work your way from left to right and top to bottom. And so what I do is I start on one monitor, make sure that everything's showing what it should be showing. Am I at the right altitude? Is my speed okay? Where's the wind coming from? Then I look at the engine page, and that's when I notice, oh, there's some fluctuations going on there. So you could sit back and, you know, sit on autopilot for 2 hours and do nothing. But yeah, it's your job really as a pilot to be on top of the aircraft, the head of the aircraft, and constantly monitoring, trying to think of what's going to be happening next, but also what's happening right now in the aircraft. Is everything doing exactly what it should do? I really like the Cirrus. There's the feature. Let me show you. In the Aberdeen, you can go here, you can go to nearest, and you can get a list of airfields. So basically the bearing from where we are at the moment, how many nautical miles. You see the frequency and the airport, and this is quite good, and I do monitor this page quite a lot when you are flying the longer distances, because if you have any sort of problem and you think, well, I might need to get the plane down sooner than I was originally expecting, it's good to know, well, where's the nearest airport to us right now? Albury being straight ahead, 15 miles with, we've got a tiny tailwind, but the wind's basically coming from our left, so anything over to the left-hand side I'm going to be battling a headwind for. Anything to the right I'll get a nice tailwind, but because Albury is closest and the wind's pretty negligible, I'd say that would be the airport that we go to if we had to. This one's just for those of you that enjoy watching Steve-O Knievo on YouTube. I mean, who doesn't? He flies in some amazing places around the Bahamas and Florida in the US. I'll link to his channel. And Steve-O has this rule that he won't have a drink on board his flight until he's got less than 1 hour to get to his destination. Very sensible from a personal comfort point of view. I always carry water with me on these flights. And because we've got less than an hour to go, I thought, Steve-O, thanks for the tip. I'll follow your rule and rehydrate. Melbourne Centre, Kilo Juliet November, maintaining 9,000.
Kilo Juliet November, Melbourne Centre, g'day, and direct to Waddle is available, advised.
A firm direct to Waddle would be great, Kilo Juliet November.
Kilo Juliet November, not a problem, clear direct to Waddle.
Direct Waddle, Kilo Juliet November, thanks. Alright, so direct Waddle, direct, enter. I'm going to start planning my approach into Bankstown.
426.
Familiarise myself with the aerodrome again. I've got all the charts obviously on AvPlan on my iPad, but I do carry paper backups just in case. And yeah, get ready for the approach into Sydney. Hold on, milkshake. Might be a few bumps there.
Juliet November, runway left, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway left, Kilo Juliet November.
Romeo Bravo, number 2 for runway left, follow the Cirrus SR on final.
Looking for traffic, November Romeo Bravo.
Perfect. Good job. Welcome back to Sydney, everyone. Feels like we were just here yesterday, right? Alright, KJN is safely tied down for the day. We're now here in Sydney. I need to try and find a cab and get into town. I don't know whether you get this too, right? Obviously I fly, I'm sure some of you out there fly planes, even just as passengers in planes. I don't mind looking out the window, however high up I am. I never have a problem with heights in a plane, but tall buildings, yeah, no, I really don't like tall buildings. Just wanted to let you know quickly what I'm doing here in Sydney today. The reason why I flew up myself was I've just had some meetings with one of the companies I work with. We're doing a server migration for their primary website tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. So I flew up today to do the final planning meetings this afternoon. Then I think 7 o'clock tomorrow morning is when we're doing the changeover onto the new server. Then we've given ourselves the whole day for some contingency just in case things go wrong. Actually know when things go wrong, because any of you that work in the tech industry as well, you'll know that it's not a question of if, it's when. Do all those fixes, make sure everything's working okay. But then I gave myself a full day to do that, and I'm not going to fly back to Sydney until Friday, because if you saw my last video, like I was explaining before, flying for yourself and flying privately when you're traveling in between meetings, I think is great, and I really encourage you to do it. If you can travel for business and fly yourself, it's awesome. But give yourself as much time as you can, and if you can separate the act of flying and the act of working, then I actually think you'll do better at both rather than flying, working, flying back on the same day. You kind of, your mind's half in one place and half in the other, and that's never a good thing when it comes to aviation, and it's probably not a good thing when it comes to what you do for a living either.
And just finally, very quickly before I go, I have noticed that quite a few people who watch the videos on this channel aren't subscribed. It's almost 50% in fact. So if that's you, if you're watching this right now and you're not actually subscribed to my channel, it would really mean a lot to me if you did click on that subscribe button below. The reason is the bigger I can grow this channel, the more I can actually approach companies, you know, people like airline companies, airports, general aviation companies, and work with them to produce more content that I know you'll enjoy watching. So just as a favour to me and to grow the channel, and then so you can enjoy the content in the future, please do click on that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have and you're already a subscriber, and some of you have been subscribed to this channel for a long time, I just want to reach out and say you're awesome. Thank you. Otherwise, thanks as always for watching. Give us a like if you enjoyed that content, and I will see you on the next video on this channel, which should be flying Kilo Juliet November back to Moorabbin.